Here's just a short video about some of the gear that I'll be taking on my winter survival trip. It's a fair bit more than I would take on a regular, normal survival trip, but given that there's going to be a ton of snow out there, it's going to be pretty cold. The average temperature so far has been about -2 to -7. Previously it was about -20 out, so I want to make sure that I've got most of my bases covered. I've got a good mat to sleep on anyway. I wouldn't normally bring in the summertime or in the spring or fall, but I don't fancy sleeping on snow this time of year, so I've got a decent bag. It's made by Mad Dog. I think Stearns makes it. It's got a good waterproof interior. It's a fleece exterior, so it's good for hunting and whatnot. I've got my tripod that I'll be bringing just for video purposes. Clothing, I'll be wearing some Helly Hansen pants and probably a coat. Mostly I'll just be wearing a wool sweater and some Polypro, my Under Armour, and a good wool toque and some bandanas I usually always carry with me, as well as my Schmeg. It's useful for a variety of purposes. Some of the tools, this time out I'll bring an axe. Usually I reserve it for car camping or camping with family, just because it's fairly heavy. I mean, I've got it a lot of use. It's made by Cold Steel. But again, this time of year I don't really want to spend a lot of time gathering wood for a fire because there's only so much daylight. So I've also got a little pack saw for some of the smaller branches. And on my belt I'll have my Gerber Freeman, which I busted off the handle, so I made a new one out of cherry wood. I really like that knife. I had to do a little bit of another heat treatment to it just to get the steel a bit better and hold a better edge. I got a knife that I made out of S30V. I got the steel from RangerOriginal.com. I'm going to try it out this time. Haven't used it out in the bush yet. And also my Littlemore laminated Swedish steel. Picked up for like $8 a long time ago and it served me well. Also got a little first aid kit with a garbage bag and some gauze, and I usually use the duct tape for any wounds that I might have. Any of the bigger wounds I'll use tin foil or plastic from anything. Also with some water tablets from Micropure, and an assortment of ties and string, especially a roll of jute. That's what I usually tie my lean-to or shelters out of, just because if I have to leave them up, it's biodegradable and I don't have to worry about taking all my stuff down. I like to make a little bit of or as little imprint as possible when I'm camping. To sleep in, or for fire reflectors, I usually use these cheap little emergency blankets for fire reflectors, as they're pretty flimsy to actually sleep in, but they hold in the heat very well. To catch game, I've got 20 and 22 gauge brass wire for snowshoe hare around here, as well as squirrel. Some fishing line, use Dacron in the winter for ice fishing, little fishing kit, good assortment of flies and fishing lures. Also, for sharpening my tools, I've got, for my smaller ones, I've got a Gerber pocket steel, as well as some little honing stone. For fire starting, I've got a variety of different pieces of wood I'm trying out this time around, just to see what works. Also, because I know there's not going to be much dry wood out there, I'm going to be doing just a handful of kindling, just to make sure that I get a good fire going. Usually I use my fire steel. I busted off the handle, so again I had to make a new one. Pretty hard on some of my gear, but most of it seems to withstand a lot of the abuse I put on it. We got a little compass, a Suunto compass, with a thermometer on it. I more or less just keep it for the thermometer in the wintertime, just for keeping an eye on the temperature and whatnot. I don't usually use a compass, as I don't have any maps or anything that are of use to get my way out anyways. compasses by themselves are pretty useless. I've got a little headlamp with red and blue and actual spotlight on it. Also for signaling, I usually use my US Survival jet scream whistle. Extremely loud. Probably use bring my blanket this time for sleeping in. Usually in the summertime I'll just bring an extra sweater or something to sleep in, because it's usually fairly warm inside a lean-to. Bringing a power bar just for calorie sake, because I know I'll be burning quite a few calories. I'll be gone for a few days this time. And a steel cup for boiling water. Also an Nalgene. Not worried about bringing too much water, as there'll be a ton of snow out there to melt to make clean fresh water. But that's pretty much my survival kit for winter camping.